Pretty interesting. Trying to get my phone to flip around. Crap. There we go. There we go. Okay. We'll let everybody roll in. Got about 3 minutes till 9 o'clock. Thank you. Plan is I got about a couple things I want to talk about, and then I'll answer questions or whatever. About 30 minutes, I hope. I hope the talking points are that, and I hope they're interesting to you. So we will wait till about 9 o'clock, which is about 3 minutes from now, and we will go. This is my first experience with Periscope, and hopefully this is something that I'm going to turn my Sunday swings into. It's just a weekly live player development training discussion, talking about how I can help you get better. Hope you guys hope you guys enjoy my Twitter. Twitter for me I did play professionally. I played A-ball up until A-ball with Cleveland. But back to my Twitter. I hope you enjoy my Twitter. My Twitter is a place where I just go and brain dump a lot. Like, I get ideas in my head a lot of times. So it's more of just a brain log for me than trying to go there and argue with people. I just go there to try to brain dump and put good ideas and try to validate the ideas with the data and information that we have today. So I hope you read it. I hope you like it. If you don't like it, then I guess you could unfollow. Or people think that you have to argue with every point, and I'm not on Twitter to argue with anyone. I just put my stuff there, and it comes straight out of my brain, which runs on overdrive most days. Just trying to put good ideas so you guys, can get better information. Do I have the same hitting philosophies as Bobby Tewksbury? Yeah, I think so. I've met him once and heard him talk and talked with him once. Yeah. I think anybody who's I think guys who like Bobby Tewksbury, there's a few of them got pretty good ideas. Certainly everybody has their own ideas, and some of the things that I talk about, they've come from Bobby Tewksbury. They've come from different places. I think that's one of the marks of being being all around good at what you do is trying to take and mold people's ideas, so that you can add value to your players. That's all I'm trying to do, is add value to players. I'm pretty passionate about players, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Where am I from? A little small place in Virginia, middle of nowhere. A little place called Wise. It's quite wonderful. I'm here in the training building that I own and operate and work in. It's nothing spectacular. I tell people all the time, it's got more of a Rocky Balboa feel than it's got a Ivan Drago feel. It's just mostly work. We do have a hit tracks though, which is cool, which is a point that I will make in this time that I'm here. So 9 o'clock. Here's a couple points I want to talk about. And it's interesting because these are points that come up with players during the week. We have interesting talks and interesting discussions, and a couple of the guys that I work with, younger guys, college guys, they're cool conversations. So I figured I would jump on here on Sundays as my live Sunday swings and share them. So the first one I want to talk about is yesterday we had a discussion about why I think home runs are up in the major leagues. And so, first off, to get this off the table before the comments blow up, yes, do I think the ball is juiced a little bit? Yes, I think it is juiced a little bit, which I think is a good move if they are doing that. I don't have any proof. I don't have any proof. I think there have been some studies that people have done that would indicate that the ball is livelier today. which is a good thing for Major League Baseball because the game is more popular when offense is good. Nothing against pitchers. Pitchers are better than they've ever been, but the game is better and more popular when offense is good. People want to watch guys hit balls in the seats. But I think the main point is this, and if you saw the article that I was in Baseball Perspectives a couple weeks ago, is I think that because of StatCast and because of the information that we have today, there are whole organizations, but it is trickling because of the internet. Ideas spread on the internet that people are more accepting of training to hit balls in the air. Just when I played in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, and I posted this on my Twitter this week. Is it was swing down, it was backspin the ball, it was stay low in the cage, and kind of my evolution as a player and as a coach was this. I tried to do those things, and I tried to follow those, and I tried to listen to those coaches, and I tried to do those things, and I wasn't having success on the field. So I felt like my career ended too soon. I was just curious and stupid enough to keep looking for answers of how you can make it to the major leagues that I could share with players and coach players. And so I kept looking, and I thought, well, I'll just coach this, and because I wasn't good enough, maybe someday I'll find a player that was good enough. And I think I kept doing that, and I taught that, and I went that direction, and probably, I don't know, 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, when StatCast came out, and we were starting to get better video, and you start to study guys' swings, and you start to see the data of supporting the balls in the air, you think maybe the information I wasn't getting was the right information. And so I think to the topic of home runs being up, I think guys are more accepting and players are more accepted of training to hit the ball in the air. I think hitting the ball off the top of the cage, that's a total myth. Like drive the ball off the top of the cage, 20 degrees. We all understand that. You have to practice there. You need to practice there to create a swing plane that works on plane with the pitch, that produces launch angles that are between 10 and 20 degrees. I think guys know that. I think the information is there for them to take. And while some guys are playing in organizations that aren't acceptant of it, they are able to just do their own thing and get results that no one can argue with. I say that all the time. If you're putting up results, your coach is not going to say anything to you. Hitting the ball in the air, whatever, hitting the ball over the fence, your coach is not going to say anything to you. So in that, the article in Baseball Perspectives, the topic was, why do I think guys are hitting balls down in the zone better? Guys like Mike Trout are just annihilating balls down in the zone. And I think the acceptance of practicing the intent to hit the ball in the air and the intent to get the bat on plane behind you and work behind you allows you to shoulder plane and get underneath balls down, where if you take a more straight approach to the ball with the barrel, the only thing you can do with a pitch down is hit it in the ground. That's what I did. That's what people did forever. And I think just people are more, like when I played, there was no conversation that you should be practicing actually hitting the ball up in the air. Everything revolved around staying low, back spinning the ball. And who am I to argue? I'm a little small town guy from Wise, Virginia. I wasn't arguing, but the information and video, and it just doesn't support that the barrel is working down through the ball. They're not swinging on a negative plane. They're not swinging down towards the ground through impact. If you're going to be good, you've got to swing on plane with the pitch and work and hit the ball in the air, launching it consistently between 10 and 20 degrees. I think the acceptance of that is why I think home run. Part of the reason why I think home runs are up, because more guys are practicing it. Honestly, more guys are practicing. More guys are acceptance, like the Josh Donaldsons, like the J.D. Martinez, like the Yonder Alonso, guys that are turning their careers around by not not trying, Daniel Murphy, I'm not trying to hit the ball on the ground ever. And so many people talk about it's not a zero-sum game. Like, you're not going to fly out. You're not going to strike out a lot. I mean, the Astros are leading the league in the home runs, and they're, I think, leading the league or lowest in the league in strikeouts. So it's not a zero-sum game. Further in the conversation, why it's taken so long for somebody to hit 400 after Ted Williams. You'd have thought all these players, all these years, somebody would have done it. You know, and Ted Williams' approach got disregarded so long because he was considered a freak or whatever. He was largely right. And I think that is finally getting into the language of what organizations are doing at all levels. You know, you see colleges doing it now. You see some high school guys doing it now, and just it's a better way to swing. And we have the data to support it. I use HitTrax. We work on with HitTrax, hitting the ball hard, hitting the ball in the air. We train that way. We work on those things. We don't want our guys off the back of the cage or low in the cage or trying to backspin balls. We're just trying to launch balls between 10, 20 degrees. And for the guys that have high exit velocities, they can go higher than 20 because they have the ability to hit the ball out. Within that, we measure swing planes, we measure barrel accelerations, we measure all those different things just to create input, just to understand what input goes into creating potentially positive outcomes, outputs. That's all. So home runs are up. I think the ball's juiced. I think guys are also a little bit. I don't think the ball's crazy juiced, but I think the ball's juiced some. Okay, which is good. Okay, we need to get the ball flying out of the park. I think, you know, not I'm for or against steroids or anything like that, but the game was never more popular when guys were hitting it over the fence all the time. Was that to an extreme? Certainly, but we got to get the ball. We got to get offense in the game because how's it juiced? So here's an interesting story. When I was playing pro ball, it was a year that Houston had the home run derby, and we got to after the All-Star break, they sent the home run derby balls down through the minor leagues, and we got to take BP with them. And the day we took BP with those balls, they are so hard that when you hit them, they just exit faster because they're harder. I think the ball is a little harder now, probably. I think that's why they have the humidor in Coors, and I think they maybe have a humidor in Arizona now because the ball was getting too hard because of the lack of humidity. So the ball being juiced means the ball is just a little harder, allowing it to fly farther. Which, again, I don't have any proof of that. I don't know anybody, but it's okay. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to play commission or anything like that. I think balls maybe juice a little bit. And guys are swinging the bat, training better because they have better information, they have better ideas, there's better feedback, and I think they're just practicing that more against traditional. There are certainly organizations now that are still backspins, stay low in the cage, promoting off-plane swings. That's fine. But I think there are guys filtering through, and I think information is growing, supporting what Ted Williams said 70 years ago. I'll talk about turning the barrel at the end. So ask me that at the end. I'm going to take questions at the end. And so I just think that the overall data and information supporting the ball in the air, guys are training that way. That's why they're hitting the pitch down more. That's why that's why Aaron Judge, I think, has really turned the corner. Aaron Judge was a guy who fought for space out in front of him, and he's able to let the ball travel and get the barrel deeper and turning behind him more, getting the ball up in the air, and we've seen what that done. If he swung the bat like he swung the bat in college, he would never be what he is now. I'll talk about swinging down in the end. That's fine. I'll talk about it. The next thing I want to talk about, something I did this week. I released my training programs. It was a grueling process. I was super nervous about putting it out. Just not because I thought it was bad, because it's good information. It's information that we use in here every day that's backed by HitTrax. I just never know how people are going to accept not stuff that they don't believe is proven, but it seems kind of salesman-y or I don't know, car salesman-y a little bit. I just didn't know how people would react to me actually putting my information out so that you can buy my training stuff. I didn't know. Several people have bought it. It's been great. I've got good feedback. It's not finished. It will never be finished. It's like good art. It's never done. It will continue to update. We'll continue to play around with our players, mess around with their swings in here, mess around with their training in here, trying to get, here's the general thesis. And this is true on all levels, whether you're in your 8th grade trying to make this, or whether you're in the 7th grade trying to make the 7th and 8th grade team, whether you're in the 8th grade trying to make the JV team, whether you're in the 9th grade trying to make the varsity team, while you're a senior in college and you're trying to play college baseball, or whether you're a senior in high school and you're trying to play Division I college baseball or get drafted, or whether you're a guy in the minor leagues that is trying to play in the next level of the minor leagues, you're trying to play in the big leagues. Guys, here's the answer, and you've got to work backwards from this. The answer is the guys that hit the ball consistently the hardest are the guys that end up playing longer. Certainly getting the ball in the air is better, but hitting the ball hard consistently is the number one separation point at all those levels. You've got to hit the ball hard first. Hitting the ball in the air hard is better, but hitting the ball hard is first. Okay, so the harder you hit the ball, the more consistently you hit the ball hard, the better you're going to be, the better outcomes that you're going to be. So the program is this. The program has the 12-week weight training in it because the general recipe is this. You have to increase your baseline strength in bench, squat, deadlift. It's not a hard formula. You've got to get stronger. If you get stronger benching, squatting, and deadlifting, along with increasing your joint mobility, along with increasing your muscle stability, you will be able to swing the bat harder. If you then are able to create a movement pattern and a barrel pattern, an efficient movement pattern and a barrel pattern swinging the bat, which is where the weighted bats come in. Okay, so it's weight training, it's mobility work, it's stability work, okay? It's creating a body that's able to move a bat faster and more efficiently. That's all we try to do. It's not sexy, it's not secretive, it's not like 12 steps guaranteed to make you hit homers. It's not quick fix, it's not cause and effect. It is work. And it is a program that we use every day, that we always adjust, and we measure with hit tracks, and we measure with Diamond Kinetic sensors, and we measure force out. I mean, we measure everything. People ask me all the time for it. I finally put it out. Again, I'm still nervous about it, but it really works. You can't not. Okay. Here's the reason why. Even if you don't do those other things, even if you don't want to lift weights, even if you don't think, Chad, you're stupid, mobility work's not going to help me hit the ball. I mean, that's fine. If you believe that, that's fine. Okay, I'm not here to argue that those things don't help or whatever. But even if you want to stay where you are, swinging weighted bats should be part of your routine 4 times a week along with your normal bat, and here's why. I released a video about making your own weighted bats. One hurdle that I have had is the weighted bat. I'm not knocking these companies, because the weighted bat, I've seen the Skills bat, it's really, really good. I've seen the Axe bats, they're really, really good, but they're really, really expensive, and so they're not, everybody can't get them, especially me. I've got a facility, we've got 10, 20, 30 players at a time. I can't buy 5, 6 sets of bats. We try to keep costs down so the training is more available to people. And so I started messing around and trying to make them. And I really got to something that works good in allowing for you to change the weight in the knob and change the weight in the end, and making an underload bat that you can make lighter. We do it simply with lag screws and washers, and we screw them in the end and screw them in the knob, and we screw them on the fungos, and we use donuts, and we use different things to create different weights. And this is why when you train with your bat, your body your central nervous system specifically becomes acclimated and it kind of goes into autopilot of how it's going to move that implement, especially in a reactionary, stressful environment such as a game, right? You get to the game, you're not working on your swing anymore, you're going to fire one off. Your body is going to fire off a swing the most efficient way it knows how. If you don't change the atmosphere in which you train in, you're always just going to kind of go into this pattern, whether it's good or not, you're always going to go there. So in order to always incorporate change and create new I don't know the word. What's the word I'm looking for? New adaptability. You know, your muscles incorporate differently. To create a new adaptability or to create a new pattern, then you have to change the environment that you're swinging in. The implement you're swinging, it just creates a new motor pattern. Your central nervous system says, "Wait a second, this isn't what I'm always got." So it fires back on, and it kind of works in a way that you wouldn't, because what we want to get away from and what we don't do in here is we don't talk about your swing. We don't train specific static parts of your swing. We train in a dynamic way, intent-driven, under basic parameters, so that our only goal are, yes, that's exactly, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay, especially fast switch muscles. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. If you sell that comment, that's exactly what happens. The neural pathways, new things are created. You have to do it, okay? Because swinging the weighted bats, it works. It cleans up messy stuff. It makes you swing the bat more efficiently without a coach saying anything. Like when I come in and I train guys and I train hitters, we kind of give them basic framework to work within. And I don't talk to them much anymore. I let them go figure it out. We've got the basic drills. There's not a package of 100 drills. We've got the basic drills, the basic constraints, because when you swing really heavy bats, I think you have to do it from constraint positions because you can't load into them. Once you load into them, you dump the bat in weird places. When we train in a full swing environment, we train with 3-ounce end loads, 3-ounce knob weights, progressing on and this is high school, college, pro guys. 3-ounce end loads, 3-ounce knob weights, 5-ounce end loads, 5-ounce knob weights, 7-ounce end loads. Then that's through the program, just to create a different adaptability. Like the guy said, new neural connections, new signal firing, new just internal atmosphere, muscle incorporation. It cleans your swing up, so that the sole governing body of your swing is your intent to hit the ball up in the air and hard. That's it. That's all we want to talk about. You get in a box, we've got to load efficiently and then try to hit the ball up as hard as you can. Okay, and that's all we do. So in order to get away from internal cueing and static mechanics, you've got to create a dynamic environment where players are figuring it out. And we do that with weighted bats. We do that 4 times a week with weighted bats. We give them weighted bats. We give them the drills and the positions to do them in, and they go and they do them. And 3 or 4 weeks later, their exit velocities have gone up on hit tracks. Like, it works. The data indicates that it works. That's not my opinion. That's not my swing philosophy. That's not coaching 101. I measure everything. The exit velocities go up in young teenagers and mid-teenagers and baseball players and softball players. Everybody we do this with, their exit velocity goes up. They become more efficient, a mover. When I talk to coaches, when coaches ask me about static positions, it's not something we really talk about because we don't talk about static positions such as inside the ball or old cue. We don't talk about it. We just give them the bats. We give them the program. We give them the parameters. Kind of correct the parameters as needed, but I don't tell them how to swing the bat. We tell them hit the ball up, hit the ball as hard as you can, rinse and repeat, go. It works. Like I got the numbers. I don't have any other argument for that. It works. The weighted bat programs work. I'm sure the AxeBat programs work. There are several programs online. I just put mine out because people ask for it a lot. And so I finally put it out. I felt like I needed to talk about it tonight because there were a lot of questions about it. It works. In the program, you get the 12-week weight training. You get the mobility guide. You get the 12-week weighted bat program. You get roadmaps, videos. There's lots of stuff in it. It took me a long time to do. It was really stressful. I'm kind of glad most of it is over because we can just tweak it now. We tweak it as we get feedback from outside people, outside of Wise, Virginia, people that are doing it. I've done 2 clinics, one in Orlando, one in Myrtle Beach. They've got the program. They're doing it. And you can do it with a pocket radar and check your exit speeds. Make sure they're going up. Use a Diamond Kinetic sensor. Check your bat speed. Check your barrel acceleration, which I think is a more important number, which I'll talk about on another week. And make sure your swing planes are producing outcomes that you feel are in the 20-degree range. It works. If you've got questions about the program, 11-year-old. I do it with 11-year-olds. We really try to stay in the weight training. Yes, we do weight training with 11-year-olds. We don't do a lot of weights. We use the TRXs. We use med balls. We use just general body weight movement things, getting them ready for when they're 13 or 14, they can start to take on some load. That may be an old school mindset. That's just the way we do it. Young kids they're all there. As far as players go, high school older kids are really different, but young kids really, really vary from one case to another what they're capable of being. So I couldn't give you a general idea about 11-year-olds, but we do train 11-year-olds. We do train 11-year-olds. We don't do a lot of mobility work because young kids are mobile anyway. We do some stability work. We do some basic baseline weight training, and we do some weighted bat programs in the neighborhood of 1.5 ounces to 3 ounces to 4.5 ounces. Yeah, we do med ball squat stuff. Yeah, we do med ball throws, explosive work with 11-year-old, 12-year-old. But the young group is 11 and 12-year-olds. We have data on them. They get better too. Their exit velocities get better as they get stronger, as they improve their stability, as they improve their overall athleticism, just overall athletic things. They ought to be playing multiple sports anyway, so they ought to be getting more athletic to hit balls harder and farther and throw them harder. Throwing hard matters too. So that's for Kyle Bodie to do, and I'll leave that to him. If he wants to jump on here and talk about that, he can talk about that because he knows a lot more about it than I do. There was a question about Mike Trout and swinging down and Chipper Jones and swinging down. That's fine. That's fine. Those guys say that, and video would show their barrels are not down through impact. But if I have a kid or a player, not a kid, but a player, let's say a college player comes here and says, why swing down? Okay, let's look at it. And so we put him on the hit tracks, we put a sensor on his bat, and he drives balls up in the air at 20 degrees, and his swing plane is 10 degrees, and he swears he swings down. That's fine. He can swear all he wants. Because feel is not all the time, yes, feel is not all the time real. You've got to be able to quantify feel. That's why data is so good. Mike Trout doesn't swing down. Mike Trout launches balls at 14 degrees. I think his average exit velocity or average launch angle is. He wouldn't hit the home runs he hits if he swung down through impact. I'm not going to argue with him about what his hands doing because hands are largely a non-teach. The barrel works on the same arc that every great hitter works in. It bottoms out somewhere around his back hip, and as he's turning, the ball works up through impact. He can say what he wants. Those guys, and who's going to argue with those guys? Chipper can say what he wants about I swung down. Like Chipper, look at your video, like you didn't swing down, and that's okay. But if that's what you felt, what it felt like to you, then that's what you should do. Like if that's what you have to feel like to get your swing to arc up, then that's what you feel like. If you participate in a clinic, do you get the program? Yes. Everybody, when I do the clinics, I give the programs to them. I want to make sure anything I charge for that you are getting 100 times more value than what the cost of whatever you're paying for is. That's something that is very important to me. I want to go above and beyond just not to make sure that I'm not just taking money. Like, I don't want to be that. Certainly we need money to add more programs, to add more data, to add more tech. I've been wanting to buy a Rapsodo for a while, just haven't had the cash flow to do it. I'm hoping that when we put the program, now that the program is out and people are able to buy it and they understand what it is, I'm hoping that will produce cash flow, that we can add more technology in here, that we can do more testing with our guys to test different movement patterns, different fields that create better outcomes. That's what I'm about. I'm trying to create movement patterns and fields that create outcomes that we can measure. That's all we're going to do. And then I'm going to adjust the program online, that I'm available. I answer every hitting video or hitting message that anybody sends me on Twitter. I answer that all. I try to be available. Am I ever in South Georgia? I can be. Just shoot me a DM on Twitter. I'll shoot you kind of the concept of the clinics that I do. I bring the hit tracks. I bring some weighted bats. I bring the program. We kind of talk about the things that are within the program, so that when I leave, you have information and value coming from me that we've measured, that we've gotten video on, that you understand what you need to do once I'm gone. It's not like a one and wham and done thing. Like, I try to come down, try to give you the program. And am I ever in the Midwest? I could be. If you want me to come to the Midwest, just shoot me a DM. I'll try to set it up. I'm out till after the 4th. I think I have to go to Canada. I'm going to Canada sometime in July to work with an independent league team on some data feedback, but I can be. You just shoot me a DM. We'll try to set it up. Are there other questions? I want to weighted bat training, homers, swinging down, anything else anyone has? No. Going once, going twice, going to buy the program. Thanks from Colorado. I appreciate it. Again, if you've got questions, there are little tweaks in it. It's not done. I'm not going anywhere. I will answer anything you've got. We'll change the program, answer any questions about the program that you have. How to use more rotation in your swing. Trying underload, but turning the barrel. Okay. Rotation in the swing. Rotation. So rotation. This is an interesting thing. Rotation, so think about dynamic movement. Every dynamic movement that you make, jumping, running, whatever, jumping, running, rotation, let's use those three. In a forward back, and then an up and down, and then a turning, in the three planes that we can work in. There's always, if we're going up, there's always a dynamic counter move down. If we're going forward, there's kind of a dynamic forward ground force that's going back, that we're loading and stretching to explode in the direction. In rotation, to create better rotation, you have to figure out how to load around your back hip and create that potential energy in your back hip, that on forward linear momentum, you're producing horizontal ground force, and when your foot hits the ground, that your back hip, you're able to launch your back hip and back side and back leg. However anybody wants to talk about it, you're able to launch that immediately. There's no delay. There's no forcing the hips to turn. It's just, I've loaded it, I'm storing it, and now I'm moving out, and I'm gonna use the ground to unload my swing whenever I need to. So load around your back leg if you want to create better rotation. Learn to orient your pelvis around your back leg to create better rotation. Do I like a leg kick? I don't tell players how to load. If they want a leg kick, we talk about it. If they want a toe tap, we talk about it. If they want a Pujols, we talk about it. If they want a Daniel Murphy, we talk about it. Like, so I went to Orlando a couple weeks ago. Went to Isleworth. Did some ground force testing on a swing catalyst. Leg kicking does produce more forward ground force, but again, it's not for everyone. It's hard to time. There's more parts and pieces in it to time. So I think it's better, but I don't tell players how to load. I let them figure that out. They figure out what's best. They figure out what they want to try to do, and then we talk. I try to talk to them about the parts and pieces they need to create within the load that they want to do. Like, I don't push stuff on players. I want them to figure it out. Like, if they say I want a leg kick, then let's talk about that. If they say I can't leg kick, then let's talk about what you want to do. I don't tell guys how to do it. Like, I let them figure it out, and then we talk about it. I don't force philosophy on players. I try not to force philosophy on coaches. I just want to engage in a conversation that helps that specific player get better. That's all I want to do. I just want to help guys get better. There was turning the barrel. Turning the barrel is there are two schools of, they're not two schools of thought. There are two things that you see within players: guys that push the knob and then guys that turn the knob. Turning the barrel is getting it to plane behind you, getting your lead arm up, and then getting the knob to turn instead of push. Ultimately, that turns the barrel. Turn the barrel, not push the barrel. Once you start pushing the barrel or pushing the knob, you change the bottom of your swing arc. You move the upward plane if it's got any too far out in front of you, and you've just blown, as a hitter, you've taken away feet, not inches, feet that you could use to get on plane and get a fastball up in the air. Why Aaron Judge is so much better now is because he's 6'7", he's got massively long arms. He was having to hit the ball 4 feet and out in front of him to get it up in the air, and that is not a good formula to be able to handle 95 mile an hour fastballs. You can get it on plane deeper, which he is doing now phenomenally well. You can hit 95 mile an hour fastballs because now you don't have to arrive 4 feet out in front of you to be on plane with it. You got to turn the barrel. You got to turn it behind you to accelerate it, not push it. Okay, guys want to push it. That's turning the barrel. I hope that answers your question. Watch video. Just watch video of guys like Judge. Judge is a great example because he's so big. He had to figure out how to turn the barrel. Because if he hadn't have figured that out, you saw the draft. If you've seen the draft report of 2013, Aaron Judge would not be good. Like, I'm a guy, I'm 6'4". I did exactly what he did. I tried to hit the ball out front, taking away feet that I could have let the ball travel and still get it up in the air. If he hadn't figured that out, he wouldn't have hit 26 home runs now, or 27 I think he's got now. He wouldn't have done it. He's too big. There's too much space. Pujols versus linear 7-hole hitters. I don't know. Pujols is. I study a lot of Pujols video. Pujols has done 15 years of tremendous swings. Good baseline numbers for bench, squat, deadlift. Here's what I know. I don't care what they are the first day you come in. Yeah, Pujols, great barrel turn. Unbelievable. I don't care what your numbers are today. What I do care about is that you have a program and a roadmap so that they get better. I don't care what they are. They just need to be better. If you're a 500-pound deadlifter, great. You need to be better. If you're a 300-pound deadlifter, great. You need to be better. If there's a 200-pound deadlifter, great. You need to be better. Like, I don't care what they are. I just want to make sure that you have a defined plan and roadmap into how those numbers will get better. That's what the program that I put out is. It's a 3-day. I've got a 3-day program on there. I'm going to put the 4-day program on there, the 4-day lift program on there that we use with college players after they come in and they get kind of their on-ramp acclimated. What drills do you like to engage lower half better? We do a lot. We don't do a lot of drills. We do some PVC field work and some heavy back constraint, which is all in the stuff. I'll leak it out from time to time on Twitter. I don't want to keep all that stuff from you. But we do a lot of, like, one leg, trying to figure out how to orient the pelvis around the back leg and launch from that. Why do hitters pop up usually? Funnily enough, this is not what you would think it would be. That more of the swings that I see with swing sensors on bats, more pop-ups are produced from negative swing planes from positive ones. Guys swing down, they clip the bottom of the ball, and it goes straight up. Common trend when young hitters, when recruiting is, young hitters get the bat, and all they want to try to do is they want to try to swing it with their arms. Again, if you gave a young hitter an axe and you told him, go cut that tree down, he would swing the axe with his whole body because given the weight of the axe and giving the intent of what he is trying to do, his body would incorporate that. Now, we've got to somehow get them with the implement at hand to get them into that pattern. That's why I think we use, and you got to be careful with young hitters, because if you go too heavy, again, it doesn't work exactly the way older hitters work. If you go too heavy, their swing speeds decrease a lot and their ball speeds decrease a lot. We've adjusted I haven't put the really young stuff out because I'm still trying to find the weights that work really good with a lot of young hitters. And I'm there. I just got to write it. I'm going to write it this week and put it on there as far as the weight progression and the weighted bats. But you're right. Young hitters take bats and they just swing them with their arms. They don't incorporate from the ground up. But that's okay. If you change the environment and you do the right things, if you do the right things with young hitters, and never change the intent, like never let anybody change their intent to drive the ball in the air. If you do enough stuff to challenge the central nervous system, it will get better. If they figure out how to orient around their pelvis and load correctly. Just keep at it. They'll figure it out. Are there any other questions that I can answer before I go? The link to the program is pinned on my Twitter account. So if you follow me on Twitter, it's pinned on there. And again, it's $125 1 year. You can get it there, or you can buy some t-shirts off of my website, $100 or more, or you can buy off of the sporting goods shop, the Evo Shield hats that are there. You can buy. I want to make it as accessible as possible for many ways you can get it. Can I see what? Somebody asked about leg kick, no leg kick. Again, I don't tell players how to load. I let them figure out how they want to load. External versus internal constraints. Some internal. We put them in static positions and make them start from there. And then, again, after that, it's all external. Just try to hit the ball up here. Try to see the back of the ball. Try to hit the ball up here in a turn. And that's what we worked on with the different weighted bats, so that they have to move more efficiently to do it. Yeah, I'm going to try to do them every Sunday. I've got a few topics. I've started a note list of things that come up during the week to get topics, and then I'm going to do Q&A. So this will be my Sunday swings, like guys post. I post on Snapchat some Sunday swings from time to time. I think this will be better because I can talk about what's going on, what we're training, what we're doing, hit tracks, diamond kinetics, launch angle, exit velocity, whatever you want to talk about. Follow my Snapchat. I put a lot of just some training work on there. Daily training work with young guys, college guys, high school guys we're training. If they let us. Some coaches don't. Some players don't want themselves to be on there because they're afraid their coach will find out. YouTube. I do have some YouTube stuff. I'm not settled into a good rhythm on YouTube. I don't really know what I want to do there. My Snapchat is the same thing as my Twitter. It's C Long Baseball, and you can join in there too. But if there's no other questions, I'm going to go home and hang out with my kids. Okay. So I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. We will do this. Again, no, Gold knows I'm a Florida guy. I will add that at the end. I'm glad that there's an all SEC College World Series final. My sister works at Florida, so I'm kind of a Florida guy. But I would like whoever she worked for. I try to support her, whatever she's doing. I went to the College World Series a couple years ago. It was awesome. But don't hold that against me. Don't hold that against me. Yeah. As long as the SEC's in it, we got to agree. I'm happy. Yeah, so we'll try to do this every Sunday. This will be my Sunday swings. I will post some. I try to do the best of SACcast Sunday swings on my Instagram and Twitter on Sunday. I'm not going to do it because it is 9:40 on the East Coast, and I got to go home and hang out with my kids. So appreciate you coming by. I have open Twitter DMs. I have open Snapchat DMs. I try to be as accessible as can be. I answer questions, any and all questions all the time. So got them, send them over, and I'll try to do this on Sunday. We'll try to have interesting topics. If you have ideas for topics that you want to send to me, great, send them to me, and we'll talk about them. So I'm done. I'm going home. Appreciate you watching. Share this, I guess. I guess you can share it. Just whatever. Just tell people about it. They'll come, hang out, talk some training, talk some hitting. Not gonna argue. Not gonna get on here and argue with people, obviously. So, but if you like the stuff and you like my content that's on Twitter and on Instagram and on Snapchat, come by, talk, ask questions, and we'll do it. This has been cool though. Thanks.